Bowl. Today we're going to be making crispy honey garlic wings. They're super easy. It was one of my most popular blog posts. And I chose this because Super Bowl is next weekend. So it's a perfect recipe for Super Bowl. Something a little different than your normal run-of-the-mills buffalo wings. And like I said, it's super easy. Not a lot of ingredients. Probably everything that's in there you already have in your house already. So let's just get started. So first what I have here is, you'll see on the blog that the recipe calls for 3 pounds of wings. I actually have a little less than 3 pounds, probably like 2.5 wings. I like to use the wingdings as opposed to the whole wing. It's just easier that way. They cook faster and it's just easier to eat. So what I did is, I did season them a tad. I used a little bit of seasoning salt and some pepper and Old Bay, because I told you previously I'm an Old Bay fanatic. So what you're going to do is just, so I'm going to fry them in a pan. You can fry them in a deep fryer. You can also bake them until they get crispy and then do the same thing. And like I said, there's a little seasoning on it. I wasn't super, anal about whether it got on every wing. And just watch the popping. These are a little wet, which I should have dried them off prior to so I wouldn't have this much popping. But, whatever. So I'm frying mine in a cast iron skillet. To be honest with you, I don't usually fry in my cast iron skillet. I like to use, if I'm not using my deep fryer, I like to use a wok or just a regular nonstick pan, but I thought the cast iron looked a little better, so I used it this time. And they really are the best conductors of heat, so I'm just going to throw all whatever I can fit in here. And I'm just going to, I think that's all I can fit in there. Then I'm just going to put the screen over the top so I don't get popped by the grease. So you just want to cook them well done, because you want them to be like super crispy, of course. And so while that first batch is cooking, I'll mix up the sauce. So let me just explain the ingredients together. And by the way, I'm sipping on bourbon and ginger ale right now. Very refreshing. So this is a 1/2 cup of honey. This is just like run-of-the-mill regular honey, nothing special. This is about 4 tablespoons of hot sauce. This is your traditional, Crystal's Louisiana hot sauce. This is minced garlic from a jar. And I think there's about 2 teaspoons, well, the heaping teaspoons of that in here. And then in here is actually ground ginger and black pepper. And then this is soy sauce. I forget the exact amount of the soy sauce. Probably like 4 or 5 tablespoons, but it'll all be listed with the recipe and everything. And this is super easy. So I like to use a plastic bowl with a lid, because then once your wings are done cooking and everything, you can throw them in there and just shake it up and then you're done. So you're just going to add your honey in there. I'm just going to use this knife to kind of get all of it in there. And I love this recipe because it's just super easy. I mean, all you have to do is make the chicken. Like I said, you can bake the chicken, but if you bake it, like I said, you want to bake it at probably like a high temperature, like 425, and you want to get it nice and crispy, and maybe coat it with a little bit of oil prior to putting it in there so you can get a nice crispiness to it. I've never tried this with breaded wings. I know some people like that. They like the breaded wing with the sauce on it too. I'm not sure how that works because the hot sauce has a lot of vinegar in it, and a lot of times vinegar can make breaded things kind of soggy, so it might not taste that good if you try it with breaded. But if you try it, let me know. So I'm just adding the hot sauce in there, dumping the crushed minced garlic, soy sauce, and then, like I said, the pepper and the ginger. So get that all in there, and then you want to take a whisk. Let me get my whisk out. And you kind of just want to like whisk everything together. You'll see eventually, like, the hot sauce and everything will cut through the honey, and you'll be able to kind of like stir it a lot easier, or whatever, and you can get it all in there. you always want to taste it, because like I said previously, I don't necessarily measure a whole lot, so these are kind of like guesstimations. So you just want to taste it, because you might taste it and say it needs a little bit of this or a little bit of that. It tastes perfect, so I'm not going to do anything else to it. So you just throw this around, and then I'm just going to cover this, because like I said, the chicken has to cook and everything like that. Let's check on our chicken. It's not close to being done yet. And so like also, one thing that makes cooking something like this super easy is to just set everything up in advance. Measure everything out ahead of time. And you can even make your sauce before you even start doing the chicken. And then set up your draining station. I just have paper towels on here. A lot of times I actually take like paper bags and cut them up and put them down. Sometimes I actually use the oven racks and just drain it in the oven racks. So that's pretty much it. But the best thing to do is to have everything set up ahead of time. It makes everything go a lot smoother and quicker. So we'll be back in a few minutes once the chicken starts. We'll finish this cooking, and then we'll toss in the sauce, and I'll show you how I serve it and everything like that. So, welcome back. Our wings are all done and finished and nice and crispy and drained. So this is really simple how we serve it. So we're just going to, I just like to give it a little shake just to make sure everything is mixed in there. We're just going to one by one put all our wings in there. And one thing I'd like to just mention for sanitary things is like the tongs that I use for my finished cooked wings and what I use once I see they're like brown and stuff in the pan are different than what I use putting my raw chicken in there and everything like that, because ain't nobody got time for salmonella. So just throw all wings in there. And you could fit them all in here at one time or whatever. You just want them to have a light coating anyway. You hear that? You can hear they're crispy. You can hear them hitting each other. Ugh, it's gonna be delicious. So, like I said, this is a perfect Super Bowl wing, of course. And you can also make it a little bit more spicy. You could add some cayenne to it, a little extra, use a really hot sauce instead of the classic Louisiana. And in the summertime, this would be good if you grilled them and used the same sauce. So it's a very versatile sauce, very easy. So I'm just going to put this lid on here and shake. Shake everything up. Whatever. So, and then I like to serve everything. Everything looks better on a white plate. So if you're having guests, put it on something white. Nothing with a bunch of patterns and flop. Please don't do that. White plates. Everything looks great on a white plate. So I'll just stack these on here nicely. Whatever. How many are you guys having Super Bowl parties? I'm not gonna have a party, but I'm going to one, and I'm gonna bring a dish. Not really sure what I'm bringing yet. I might do some sliders or something like that, or whatever. But I just couldn't be stressed out cooking and all of that for a Super Bowl party this year. So. And after this weekend, I'm exhausted anyway. Shout out to my girl Danielle, aka my hairdresser, who had a fabulous party last night. It was jumping. So, just put them all on the plate. Doesn't it look delicious? Looks awesome. And they're still crispy. And I would get rid of the excess sauce. I don't know which. If you think you might want to dip the wings in there as you're eating them, you might want to put them in a little dish so people can dip them or whatever like that. Personally, I don't. I just, get rid of the excess salt. And real quick, something that I like to do, I got this from good old Auntie Faye. I love a little bit of, greenery or whatever. So, because I take like dried parsley, which doesn't have a lot of flavor to it, so it's not going to affect the flavor. But I just think it just like livens things up. It makes them look a little nicer. So I just shake a little of that on there just to make it look, nice. Sometimes I put a little more like crushed garlic on top too, and you always want to kind of like wipe your plate the best that you can. I mean, this is not the neatest thing, but before you serve it, you always want to kind of dab your plate, make it look neat. And there you have it, crispy garlic wings. They look fabulous. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys make this and tell me how great it is, and you enjoy it. And definitely share your pics with me if you make these for your Super Bowl party. You can use hashtag #TA5L, and don't forget to check me out on Twitter at MISS_TA5L, and my Instagram handle is the same. And you can get the recipe, and the video will be posted on theafter5lifestyle.com. That's the number 5. It'll be on the screen below. It was great cooking with you guys, and I cannot wait to see you next time.